Here we are on All Canes Radio. It's the Beast, Brian London. It's my honor and pleasure to be joined by the head coach of the University of Miami, Randy Shannon. Coach Shannon, in the middle of spring, about to wrap spring ball up, and it's been an exciting spring. A lot of great stuff has happened for this football team. Let's start on the offense. Quarterback, Ja'Cory Harris, a bit on the sidelines with the injury. You've had three guys working at that position. We've had AJ, Spencer, Steven. How have those guys done? And do you feel confident that by August you're going to have a guy that's going to be ready to take some snaps in case you need him to?
Yeah, we feel like those three guys have done a good job. Not great, but good. They're learning the things what we need to get done. Of course, AJ would probably know more knowledge than, Steven and also Spence would know. But, when you watch them practice, both of them have a lot of qualities. All of them bring something to the table. And they're learning right now. It's a learning process. They'll make, little freshman mistakes, but then also you'll see them having great plays and great throws. And the more that they get the reps in practice, which is kind of a great thing that Ja'Cory's not, because these guys are getting a lot more reps than they would if Ja'Cory was in. So, and then when we come back in August, we'll see how they progress, and then we'll make the decision on the quarterbacks.
One thing I took away from the scrimmage up at Lockhart was just the speed at running back. And, Damien didn't practice that night, but we got to see Storm and Lamar and Mike James, and not even thinking about Coop that, may make a return, but just the speed there, the versatility there, the playmakers there. But, as I know, you know, and we all know that, running back is a position you can't have enough depth at, but just to see the talent there, it's pretty exciting.
It's very exciting, to come back and you see these guys come back and like you said, those young guys, Lamar Miller, Storm Johnson, Mike James is now back at tailback. And you see guys, we're going in and guys get an open field and they're breaking long runs, because they're fast guys, very fast, 4-3 type guys, and Willis McGahee type guys, Portis. And now you sit back and say, okay, as an offensive coordinator in offense, well, you don't have to always throw the deep ball to get a big play. Now you get a running back and get an open field and uses 4-2, 4-3 speed and get to the end zone. That makes your offense more explosive. And like you said, you're never going to have too many of those guys. And really those guys probably been the most impressive probably in the spring.
Offensive line, some injury issues, so you've had to play some guys there, getting a lot of reps that maybe they wouldn't have if you hadn't had the injury issues. That's a good thing and a bad thing. How was that position done over the course of the spring, and those guys kind of coming together as a unit?
From the first part to now, I think they've really made big strides. Pleased the way Tyler Horn is coming around at the center position. Jared Willis really been a guy that taking the next step. He's putting himself in a situation that we can depend on him and also get in the mix next year. Harlan Gunn's been the steady guy. He's been the guy that played, the only guy up front that played last year. Everybody is brand new. And you see those guys hustling. You see them, they make some, mistakes. But one thing they don't do, they don't get down. And that's the thing, that's when they have confidence in what they're doing. And they know they eventually, if they block everything right, get the right protection, that, our running backs will make a big long run some way, form, or fashion, which they have done, and we'll come up with a big play from the quarterback position by throwing the ball. So, they make their mistakes, they get beat, but, they never quit, and I think that's the one that shows you that how much these guys can really perform and get better at.
On the other side of the line, defensive line, I'm just really impressed by these guys, young and old. I mean, you're talking about Jomo and Bailey making plays, guys like Curtis Porter coming into the mix. Really a lot of playmakers there. I saw at the scrimmage, I saw really hustle, a motor, a tenacity, a really just wanting to get upfield and make plays. And it looks like that position really starting to come around, and it looks like it's going to be a position of strength probably in the fall.
Well, you look at that group. 2 years ago, all those guys were freshmen and true freshmen out of high school in Southmore's. And by attrition, 3 years later, they should be ready to take that next step. And those guys are all physical now. They're stronger. They're mentally framed mind. They're a lot better. And they're starting to come into their own. I think that position is really deep at the defensive end and also at defensive tackle. You look at the young guys at that position, they're not young anymore. They're old. And I think up front should be the strength of our football team. And if we stay healthy and, guys keep working hard, which I know they will be, that'll be something that can really, really help us for the future.
Behind them at linebacker, I know some injury things there, but those guys have worked their butts off during the spring, and you really see them give the extra effort to make up for the fact that there's some of their playmakers out there or not out there because of injury.
Well, you look at it from standpoint on defense, like the running back position probably was, the surprise and the success of the spring, but now you go to defense. Colin Robinson on defense has been the guy that really stepped up. He's a guy that's been around here for 4 years, his fifth year, and you watch him perform. He's at the middle linebacker position. He's running around. He's making plays. He's doing the checks. He's getting everybody in the positions where they can make plays at. And you got Sean Spence and Colin McCarthy, got two outside linebackers. They're very athletic, very fluent, and can make a lot of plays. So I'm really proud of the way the linebackers have responded. And you got Ray Buchanan and Jordan Futch that are out right now. And we can't wait till those guys get back to add more depth in the fall. So we're looking for big things from them. We're looking for a lot of competition to see who's going to really step up and be the second tier guys.
In the defensive backfield, you reel off the names like Brandon Harris, Von Telemark, Ray Armstrong, Jamal Reed is coming on. It's starting to look like this is going to be a position where some fans are going to be excited about these guys come fall. These are going to be some guys that fans are going to see big plays from. They're going to see great effort from. They're going to see great leadership from. It's a pretty good position for you right now, defensive back.
It's a great position for us because you look at it, you had Telemac that was young, Ray Buchanan that was young, and then they're starting to come around. And, we don't have that many guys in camp right now because of injuries, and Brandon is out. He came from track practice, and now he's out. But you see, Von Telemac really, really stepping up at the safety position. He reminds me now of the Von Telemac I knew in high school, making the big plays, being a guy like a Shannon, Ever Reed, coming up with the big interceptions because he's a ball hawk type of guy, and also coming up making the sure tackles. That group of guys have played a lot of football, and they had a confidence to play a lot of football. Some are young, some are old, but it's a good mix, and they have the tenacity and the mindset that they're going to get the job done, and I'm really, really thrilled to see the development of those guys.
Special teams-wise, Matt Bosher's been on the sideline. I think fans want to know come fall, is it going to be Matt doing all three things again, or do you feel like you might be able to find another guy out there, maybe Jake, to take some of that burden off his shoulders?
We would love to take the pressure off. I mean, last year we tried to take a lot of burden off of him, and we did for most of the season, but then we had to go back to him. And we're going to continually find out if we can get Jake to do those type of things. And because Bosch is a very good punter, very good field goal kicker, but when you have to do kickoffs also, the torque of it really, really takes a lot out of you. And I remember a couple of years ago, maybe 1 or 2 years ago, Wake Forest had probably the best kicker punter in the nation. But he pulled his quad and never made it back off doing a kickoff. So those are things as a coach you got to be wary of and make sure you don't lose the quality points and also the field position when a guy like you have like Bosch.